What's up, everybody? 360 in the house, and we are continuing on with the Precog arsenal of chart weapons. And this particular chart weapon that we're covering right now is called Balancer. As you know, I'm very keen on using price action and volume, and this is what Balancer is all about in regards to support and resistance, or supply and demand. Support represents those areas of demand. So when you hear support, you're talking about demand. When you hear resistance, you're talking about supply, or the supply that's out there for that item. We have the Bitcoin chart up right now. So let's get right into what's on the Balancer indicator so you can know what you're looking at. So the purple horizontal lines represent areas of resistance. The first thing you need to know about Balancer is it's best used on the hourly or lower time frame. So, on the daily, odds are you're going to have already drawn your longer term supply and demand lines. So this is better for the hourly and below. Hourly on down to even scalping charts, 5 minute, 15 minutes, so on, and even 2 minute charts for those of you that use that type of thing. So what you have first here is our purple horizontal dots up here that represent lines. Those are resistance areas. Price action resistance areas are drawn for you. You don't even have to throw anything up or draw your own lines. And then the yellow line areas represent areas of price action support for you to see. So yellow represents support or demand, and purple represent that resistance or supply areas for price action. And then you'll notice here you have a blue kind of channel. These blue sharp lines that move in the form of a channel where it does represent your pivot points. So your pivot highs, your price action pivot highs, and your pivot lows for price action. And then I want to draw your attention to one of the very key, very important thing, and that is the red flowing line that you see flowing throughout this chart. That is the VWAP, or volume weighted average price. So it's taking volume down here, putting that in with what's happening with price and giving you this beautiful line. Now, there's one other thing on here that you probably noticed, and that is the blue horizontal lines. Okay, the blue horizontal lines simply represent the median price area between the highs and the lows. So you get that middle range with the blue, you get your resistance with the purple, and you get your support with the yellow, all drawn for you. These are price action, literally price action areas for you to see within split seconds without you having to go and draw a bunch of stuff on your chart. It's given to you, plus the range highs, the pivot range highs, pivot range lows. And then that VWAP. I mean, this is a ton of information in one indicator for you. So how do I use this? Well, again, this is mostly a short-term trader's dream to have these. So either short-term by way of scalping, you can use these support areas and these resistant areas to find entries and exits. But you can also short-term trend trade using your VWAP. So I want to draw your attention to the VWAP. Let me grab an arrow here. So there we go. And there's my tools back on the chart. Now you can see all of my other things. So we're using it now in conjunction with the data that I've already drawn up there, that I already have on the chart. So let's take a look at VWAP, that red line flowing. The best time to look at your VWAP is because VWAP gives you a great example or a great method to find trends and to trade into a trend. So I like to use VWAP on the horizontal area. So if you go to the consolidation areas right here where price is bouncing back and forth on that VWAP, right there, you can see it going above the red line, below the red line, and down here again, above and below. I love to watch these consolidation areas and then watch what happens when you combine a movement, a sharp movement above or below VWAP with a change in volume. Here you have a sharp break. You have a horizontal area where it's just bouncing back and forth, but then you start to get price movement above, and you see it hold support right down in here above that VWAP, and then you start getting a change in volume. And look at what happens when price breaks above VWAP. You get a nice Short term, it's still short term, even though this is considered a trend trade, it's a very short term trend trade. You get this beautiful movement here on this increasing volume. You can see the change in volume versus the horizontal area, and you can see the beautiful move above, held up as support and then continue to move higher. So this would be something fantastic for your short term couple day trader, because this is the hourly chart that we're looking at, to use to actually make money, make profits off of this. And then it moves into a horizontal area using your longer term resistance, which you can see match up with the short term resistance given to you on the chart, and move sideways. But look what happens when it breaks below. You get that lower volume here into consolidation. This is an obvious horizontal consolidation. And then you get price break with volume below. And look at the drop as it breaks below VWAP. Remember, it's different here versus back here because this is a consolidation move and doesn't have that volume. But when you do get that volume break, look at the range of movement you get here off of that. I'll show you another example. We've come down into some support areas here, and what has happened? The market has moved sideways, and then all of a sudden, what happens when it moves or breaks above? You can see that break above VWAP again, and then it holds the support. So you get a little bit of notice here on that break above, and then bang, it moves again. It moves again and on volume. So you get that nice break range. For scalpers would be interested in the definitely in the purple and the yellow, because it gives them areas to get very short-term trades based off what's happening even on the short-term chart, so hourly or less. So scalpers would definitely be interested in the yellow and purple, and then your short-term swing traders, and when I say swing, I'm talking about, you can still swing in a day to 2 to 3 days, would be very interested in applying those levels with price action, with the VWAP, and making some good solid decisions. Now, the other reason why I do like the yellow support areas and the purple resistance areas, because it gives you an opportunity or a place to set alerts. So to set alerts on those, you would just simply find your area. So here's an area of support. Let's say we're in consolidation. We're in consolidation, and it's a rising consolidation. So you could right click on that area of support, and right here at the top you see add alert on balancer. So you could add an alert there and give you notification when it hits that level or hits that area. You can do the same at resistance. When you're in a horizontal area, you really want to put that alert on that resistance. So this being a key area of resistance, I would probably want to set my alert here. I would probably want to set an alert right here, add alert to this area right here, because then you will get notified when you get that breakout of this horizontal consolidation. You can apply that in combination with what you're seeing on the chart, with what you're seeing in volume, because you now have a change in volume or a possible signal that something's going on, and sure enough, you get that break and that move. So I love Balancer. Balancer helps, remember, on anything less than the daily chart. I like it on the hourly, and I like it on scalping charts, those that are using 30-minute, 15-minute, 5-minute, 2-minute, so on and so forth. Price action stuff, drawn for you, used in combination with volume-weighted average price. These are things that you want to use and have in combination with all of the rest of the precog tools that work like magic and give you insight and foresight into what's happening in the market. Man, get it, add it, use it, love it.